Welcome back to the channel. My name's Claire. So today I've got a Q&A for you. So I asked you some questions over on Instagram, Facebook and here on my community tab, and today I'm going to answer them for you. So I've got some sewing questions, I've got some YouTube questions, and I've got some personal questions. So we're going to start off with the personal questions. Do you miss your red hair, or are you happy to switch it up? So if you've been with me for a while, earlier in my channel I did dye my hair red, as you can see, and I absolutely loved it. That came after I finished my job, because I started YouTube just after I stopped my job and I was looking for a bit of a change within myself, and the easiest way to do that is dye your hair. So dyed it red. Absolutely loved it. I dyed it brown again because it was so damaged. In the early days of my channel I used to straighten it for video, and because I was filming every day I was straightening it quite a lot and it became really damaged, and in order to stop that damage I stopped straightening it. And I would quite like to go blonde actually. I can't peroxide it while it's in a bad condition. I don't know if I will go blonde or not. Let me know down below if you think I should go blonde. I decided to go brown again just to grow out all the damage, and we're getting there. It's about there now. I have always naturally been this colour. I am going grey now, you can see a little bit there. But my nan always said, my late nan said, that as you get older your skin tone lightens. I don't know if you agree with that. Do let me know if you do. She always dyed her hair blonde in her later years, even though she was super dark like me. And she said it was just because your skin tone lightens as you get older, and so you need to lighten your hair as well. I don't know if that's true, but I quite like that theory. The next question is, I'm a little bit embarrassed to say this out loud. Why are you so awesome? Wow, it is because, just look at me. I am great, am I not? We all know I don't think that, but it's very kind of you to say so. Where did you and Darren meet, and do you have a photo? So in case you don't know, Darren is my husband. We've been married for coming up 5 years now. We got married in 2016. We've been together since 2000 and... Met him 2013, got together 2014. So we met at a local pub. I knew of him through other friends. We did actually go to the same school. He was 2 years older than me, so we never crossed paths, but we were at the same school. Do I have any photos of him? I have this photo that I have shared online before. What are some of your favourite meals or snacks? So I like anything and everything, me. The sweeter the better. My sweet tooth is just insane. If we've got anything sweet in the house, it will not last. So I have to not buy stuff in order to not eat it. But any kind of sweets or chocolate, anything like that, oh, love it. But actual meals, I've lately been getting into looking up meals online and making them myself. I can't give you any names, but I made this one where I fried some onion in some curry paste and then added chickpeas. I always call them hummus balls, but chickpeas, tomatoes, herbs, spices, all the things. And then added some sweet potato one time. Another time I added pasta in there. It was lovely. I've got quite a few recipes that I want to try, but I don't have anything that really springs to mind. Or I did use back in the day, I used to make a laksa, so a quinoa laksa. So basically that's curry paste, and you mix it in with some milk, bring it to the boil, add the quinoa and the vegetables. I used to put like carrots and things like that in. So I'll probably say that I do still make that from time to time. The next one, why do you call yourself Penguin and Pear? There's no great story to this, if I'm completely honest. So before I was on YouTube, I started an Instagram account, and that was probably 7 years ago now. I can't remember. 2014 I think I started it, so 7 years now. And I needed to think of a name. I had a blog that I wanted to create a blog and Instagram at the same time, and I was just looking around my room. I saw a picture of a penguin, and then I said to my husband, think of something that doesn't go with penguin but starts with a P, and he just went pear. And then I became a penguin and pear. But actually, in hindsight, I think it works quite well, because penguin suit, a tuxedo, and a pear shape. I am a pear shape, so it can loosely be translated to garment sewing. Let's get on to the sewing questions. I know that is why you are here. What's your favourite thing to sew? Probably knits, if I'm honest. I wouldn't say I sit there and think, oh, I love sewing this or I love sewing that. But actually, knits are so quick and easy. You know what? When people start to sew, they are under the impression that sewing knits is really difficult. And it is not the case. If you've got a serger and you've been avoiding using it, go use it now, or after this video finishes, because you will be amazed how easy it is. The most difficult thing about using a serger is doing the threads. Once you've managed that, you are away with the fairies. I can make a garment in an hour on a serger. That is not possible on the sewing machine. I would say knits are my absolute favourite because I love to wear them as well. They're so easy to wear. How to get by with a new overlocker. I'm not entirely sure what you're referring to here. I guess it's how to get used to your new overlocker. As I said, overlockers are not difficult, so do not go into it thinking that they are difficult. They are really not. I will do a specific video on sergers at some point, but just quickly, spend time getting used to the tension, and by that I mean put a different colour thread on each looper, sew with it and mess with your settings until your settings look even. So you'll be able to tell if they look even because you'll be able to see which thread is the top looper, which is the bottom, and which is the needles. And if it looks even, so you haven't got the bottom stitches coming over the top and you haven't got the top stitches coming over the bottom, then your tension will be good. I will do a full demonstration on this at some point. But spend a few hours, even a day or two if you need to, getting to know your tensions and getting your tensions right before you sew anything. Once you've got your tensions right, take a photograph of those settings so that you never ever forget them. And then do some practice sewing on scraps of fabric. Once you've done that, you will be a lot more comfortable with the idea of using your overlocker. One thing I never mentioned, which is really important before you do all that, and that is to read your manual from cover to cover. And that's something I always do when I get a new machine. I do read the manual because there are so many tips and tricks in those manuals. They can be dry, but they are worth reading, and it is an investment of your time to go through and read that. I was going to say garment, read that book. So if you do all that, do the practice, then you'll be able to sew a garment. What sewing tool or notion is on your wish list? Now presently I don't really have a wish list as such. I guess there's one or two things that I'd quite like to get. Some of those are long silver clips. I'll put on here what they are. But they're basically just clips that you clip onto the fabric, and I think they would be useful, but I haven't actually gone ahead and purchased them. They're not expensive, but money's tight, so I haven't purchased them. Something I would really love, which is not a tool, and that is an industrial sewing machine. I absolutely love to sew bags and heavyweight stuff, and I just think an industrial sewing machine, a Juki, would be amazing. I don't have room for it in this flat, but as my voice is going, I don't have room for it in this flat, but if we move to a bigger place, it is something I would consider. The next question is, how do you find motivation when you're tired or overwhelmed? To be completely honest with you, this is quite often. and hence why I haven't actually been sewing a great deal. You may have noticed that I haven't been posting as much lately, and that is for personal reasons. It's nothing to do with YouTube itself, really, kind of, but not really. My mental health has taken a bit of a dip, and so I've had to take time away in order to protect myself, and that's why there's been less videos. The videos that you have seen over the last couple of weeks were filmed previous to needing that break. But that's by the by. The whole process of YouTube, it is my full-time job, and it is very time and energy intensive. And so often I don't have the energy to sew. When I sew, I like to film it for you, which adds a whole other layer. So a lot of the time I just can't talk about this now because it's going to be released or re-released in the next few days. There will be a video on the 21st for this, so do look out. But I made this yesterday, and I made my bardon dress, didn't I? They're the only two things that I've made recently because I was making so many things and I was getting overwhelmed with how many things I was making. I needed to take a break. I've burnt out from sewing. And that's what I would say. If you're burnt out from sewing or you're lacking motivation, don't be hard on yourself. Do not force it. Because I was forcing it for quite a while and it doesn't do you any favours. So just don't want to sew, just don't sew. That is the easiest answer. But if you really want to sew, but you just have no energy, first off, I would say look at your physical energy. Do you need a vitamin supplement? Do you need to visit the doctor? Because often lack of energy can mean things that need addressing from a doctor. But if it's just a bit of lethargy and you just haven't got the motivation, go online, do some window shopping for patterns and fabric, and you will find the motivation you need, because you might actually find something that you really, really want to make. Or it might just inspire you to then go and look at your own stash. You could also shop your own stash of patterns or makes, and you might find something that is going to really get your juices flowing. But if not, fear not, because when I say force yourself, I don't really mean like handcuff yourself to the wall. What I'm saying is just lightly encourage yourself to make something quick and easy. And this is why I've been making a lot of the makes on my second channel, DIY makes, is because they're a lot quicker and a lot easier to make than garments. And so if I want to sew something but I just haven't got the oomph to make a whole garment, then I might make a pillow cushion or something like that. And that's super quick and easy, and you still get that feeling of accomplishment at the end. So do check out my DIY channel if you haven't seen it yet. I've got 4 videos up there now. Top 5 movie character or designer outfits you'd like to make for yourself. Well, I did do a video on some designer makes that I loved. I will link that down below, so check that out. But I don't generally go looking for inspiration in those places. I don't watch many movies, and if I do, it's just like a rom-com. So I haven't really got any garments. I did like quite a few of the garments in the Queen's Gambit, which I did watch. I love the fit and flare style, but I don't have anything specifically other than those designer outfits that I showed you. I am going to do more of those videos in the future, not just yet, but in the future I will, and I will bring some to you then. How have your capsule wardrobe goals been going? So my capsule wardrobe is ongoing in that I haven't started it yet. So I made that video full of plans to get going, to get started, and then kind of my mental health problems started. I had a head injury, and then I was pretty unwell after that, and then my mental health problems started to escalate a little bit. Not escalate, that's the wrong word, but they become more of a problem. And I haven't been doing much of any sewing. I made the bardon dress as a way of giving you some content that I knew that you would love. And I've made this for a pattern test, and I all I've made so far. I really haven't made anything. I'm still fully intending to do it. When I complete it, I don't know. I want to make some jeans, and they are part of my capsule wardrobe. So I know this is the longest ever wait for a capsule wardrobe. Have my plans changed at all? It's quite a while since I made that plans video, so I can't actually remember all the patterns that I said I would use. Yes, some plans have changed. Once I've made the garments and I bring them to you, I will explain all that in the video. When you sew, do you listen to audio or podcasts, or do you prefer silence? Do you have recommendations? So generally speaking, when I sew, I am just in silence, concentrating on what I'm doing, because I have ME and I get a foggy brain. If I have too much stimulus, it becomes a problem for me. So I do tend to just sew in silence, but I do listen to podcasts when I'm resting. So if I'm having a rest in bed, then I will pop on a podcast. Often I put on podcasts to go to sleep to as well, because I don't switch off easily. I'm an Audible member, so I'll see if I can do affiliate links actually to Audible. Never really thought about that, but I will leave a link down below if I do that. Let's have a look at my Audible. But I've still got 3 credits to use, so if you have any recommendations for me, don't hold back, give them to me. So let's go to my library. At the moment, I'm reading The Dip by Seth Godin. Find Your Voice by Caroline Godia. That is really good. I downloaded that one because it gives tips on being confident on camera and delivery and presentation and that kind of thing. And I do want to develop that within my YouTube. So that is why. That's a really good one actually. It has so many good bits of information in it. I've got Welcome to the Universe by Neil deGrasse Tyson. I do like a little bit of astrophysics type stuff. Gravitas is another good one, and that's by Caroline Godia as well. Oh, I didn't realise they were both by Caroline Godia, but they are. The History of Britain in 21 Women. Paul McKenna's Hypnotic Gastric Band, which I downloaded years and years ago, and actually was instrumental in losing probably £50 of the £100 that I lost. Superfans by Pat Flynn is another good one. That's specifically about YouTube. Storyworthy is a good one by Matthew Dick. I've got so many others that I have read. There's one called The Sewing Machine by Natalie Fergie, which is a fiction story. I found it a bit boring. I didn't finish it, to be honest. What has been your favourite project to make yet? I don't know if I have a favourite project. Every project is my favourite at the time I make it. Do you agree with me? Let me know down below. The only thing that really stands out, and this is because I use it the most, and that is the jacket I made from Closet Core, Sienna jacket. I did do a video, we'll link that down below. That was a really involved make, really involved. It has lasted. I made it probably 18 months ago. I still wear it now. It's my only jacket, so I have to wear it. I really, really like that, and I'm really proud of that make because it was a really involved make. I also made my wedding dress. I should say that as a proud one, although I look back at it now. I was sorting out a cupboard the other day and I found a couple of my really old makes. So I will do a video showing them to you very soon. Favourite tips and tricks with relation to fabric type, pattern, direction, colour that can help create illusions. What works best and what looks naff? To be honest, I don't know, because I don't go out intending to create illusions. I'm not trying to hide my size or anything like that. I make clothes because they're comfortable and I like to wear them. Say you were making a dress and you had like side panels here, like, I don't know, on the Sadie dress by Tilly and the Buttons, something like that. If you put black panels there, that will give the illusion that you are slimmer. I guess that's why you're asking, I don't know. I'm not sure what other illusions you would want to create, really. Obviously, if in terms of fabric, darker fabrics, that can be more slimming. Back in the day when I was a teenager and early adult, I would only wear black. and then I developed an interesting colour, and you know, we haven't looked back since, have we? I don't wear hardly any black in my wardrobe. This has got black in it, but that's about it. Sorry, I can't answer that any better than I've answered it. I've got one question based on health. If you don't know, I do have chronic illness, so I have ME, also known as chronic fatigue syndrome. So I get very, very tired very quickly. It's actually not tiredness at all. People just call it that because it's easy to understand, but it's more cardiovascular. Imagine that you have a really nasty flu where you cannot even sit up in bed. You feel really weak. That's what it's like on a regular basis for me. So I have that, and that's why I struggle with the sew-alongs and what have you. I also have, not diagnosed, but I know I have it, non-24-hour circadian rhythm. Now this condition isn't very well known, so that's why I'm telling you about it, in case you have the same symptoms. Basically, I go to sleep later every day. I cannot keep a sleep pattern no matter how hard I try, and it gets later and later. So I operate on probably a 25-hour sleep cycle. So it gets later and later. About every 20 days or so, I come a full circle. So just to give you a context, that's what I'm dealing with. And I did ask if anyone has any health issues. I made a video, how to be productive with chronic health illness. I'll link that down below. But the question is, what have you done or used to help work around your health? How to avoid getting so bad I can't do anything. So that video does explain what I have done around my health. Like for example, getting a taller table, although I've got these tables now. I've still got my taller table, but I've put the trestle legs away. Having everything within close range to you when you're sewing is helpful, so you're not getting up constantly. This is a new table, got it for £20 on Facebook Marketplace. It's got 4 chairs around it, which is great because I can put all my sewing machines on it and just sit in a different seat. The main thing that I do to make myself not get any worse is pace properly. If I'm doing something, because I feel it inside when it's starting to be a problem, I can feel it inside. And so as soon as I feel that, I go and lay down. Even if I have to lay down for an hour, I do it. Sometimes 3 hours, sometimes I don't get up again that day, but I do it, listen to my body, and that minimises how bad I get. When I get bad, it's because I haven't listened to my body. So I think if you do that, it can be frustrating because you want to do stuff and all you're doing is laying in bed. But I put YouTube on, I might watch some educational stuff. I might do some video planning on my phone in bed. At least I'm not up and about. In terms of sewing, just sew for 10 minutes if you have to, and then give it a break. Your chronic illness is in charge, basically. You're not in charge. You need to do what your chronic illness is telling you, and then it will let you do a little bit of what you like as well. So lastly, I've got a few questions about YouTube. I don't know if that's going to interest everyone, but it gives you a little bit of behind the scenes insight. How long did it take you to film your first video? How did you feel about it to start with and now? My very first video didn't take long to make at all because it's a 3-minute video. In today's vlog, I'll be talking sewing meetups. If you go back on my channel page and go to my oldest videos, you'll see it's still there. I wanted to do something really short for my first one because I was dreading publishing, I really was. You don't understand how low my confidence was in terms of this in the beginning. I was petrified, and you can see that in the video if you look at the video, and other people did say they could see how nervous I was in it. But it was 3 minutes. It probably took me 5 minutes to film and then 10 minutes to edit and upload. But obviously my videos are a lot more involved now. So how did I feel about that video in the beginning? Horrendously is how I felt about it. I'd been wanting to get on YouTube for a year and I just did not have the courage. I kept filming videos and I had zero awareness of what I was like what you guys are seeing. and that took some getting my head around. So I would film myself just fine, and then as soon as it went into edit, delete, delete, delete every time. As soon as I heard my voice, eventually I got used to my voice, and then seeing what I was seeing was a problem for me. Delete, delete, delete. So I spent a year doing this, and in the end I just thought, I've got to do it or forget the idea. So that's why I did the 3-minute video. And then the next video I did was where I'd been to hospital and I'd sewn through my finger. So I was doing a reaction video to that. And I felt a lot better about that because I was able to wear sunglasses because I was outside. And I don't know, that gave me a bit of confidence. Then when I got onto the third one, I was more confident. But how do I feel about that video, that first video now? Don't feel anything about it. It's embarrassing. I might take it down at some point, but I kind of don't want to, because if you're going to start on YouTube, your first video is going to be bad. It's just going to be bad. Next question is, I'm curious about your process in coming on YouTube, whether your experience so far has been how you imagined it would be. So I've touched on that a little bit in the last question, where I said it took me a year to get on YouTube, and then it took a lot of confidence, and then I did it and it got better and better. My early videos are actually horrendous, and there are a portion of them that will be taken down at some point. So if you want a good laugh, go and have a watch of those. Basically, I had seen other people come onto YouTube and they were talking about their makes, and I wanted to be a part of that community. Obviously, I was commenting on people's videos, but it's not the same. And so I wanted to do that too. And so that is why I came on YouTube initially. It was just supposed to be a diary of my makes, essentially. But I soon realised after coming on that I needed to give value to you guys. And so I started developing these sew-alongs and other kinds of informational videos, and it's evolved to where we're at today. Has it been how I imagined it would be? Yes and no. I thought being on YouTube would be amazing. In many, many ways, it is very amazing. The thing that I love the most, having that interaction with you guys. I ran blogs before, and you never ever got the interaction there that you do on YouTube, and I just think it's great. It's also enabled me to earn money. So I left my job about 3 years ago due to my health, and I can't work presently in a job. So this is what I do. It's a lot harder work than I ever thought it would be. Battery just died, I'm back. So I was just saying that it has been a lot of hard work. It is real hard work. My confidence has grown significantly since I started YouTube, especially in terms of being on camera and talking to you guys. I am so thankful for that, and I really appreciate all your interactions and getting to know you all. How lucrative is YouTube with the number of followers you have? When I read this question, I had a little chuckle to myself. Lucrative is not a term that I would use for earning money on YouTube. It can be if you've got a really popular channel, if you're getting a lot of views and you have a lot of subscribers, then you can. But actually, let me just explain. So the amount of money you earn is not related to how many subscribers you have. It's related to a few things. How many views you have is a better way of working out how much someone is going to earn, even though you still can't, because every video earns a different amount. So you get paid a certain amount per 1,000 views, and that can vary. Some channels will only earn $1 per 1,000 views. Others might earn $70 or $80 per 1,000 views. Generally speaking, on my channel, I earn about between $5 and $10 per 1,000 views. So last month I earned £181. I'll put a thingy up there so you can see. A couple of months before that I earned about £240, so that's like under $300. It isn't much at all. Now, when I had my really popular videos last November, I think it was, I had a video that did go viral, not really viral, but like for my channel it was viral. It's got nearly 100,000 views on it now. And then I had a couple of videos afterwards that just did a bit better than my videos do. That 1 month I earned £1,000, but that is the only month that I've ever earned that much. And it's kind of dwindled since because I haven't had those views again. That's the most challenging thing about being on YouTube for me, because I spend a lot of time. I can easily spend 40 hours or more and I'm earning £200 a month. And it's hard. I get some Ko-fi money, not a lot, but I'm very, very grateful for anything that you do give me. And that helps to boost me a little bit, as do memberships. But the memberships come within that money that I have quoted to you already. What I have is what I have, and I have to be earning more money than this to survive, so I will be bringing more videos to you. And the last question is, will I be doing videos on the Great British Sewing Bee this year? The Great British Sewing Bee is in season 5 now. I watched the last one. Well, not the last one. I watched the latest one last night, which was Children's Week. I filmed videos last year. I'll leave the playlist down below, but they didn't go down that well. The reason being, most of my audience are American, and you American people cannot get the Great British Sewing Bee over there. Understandably, you haven't got an interest, and so I need videos that are going to increase my views, not decrease them. Because the more views I get on the video, the more YouTube will share my future videos out, and that's how I grow as a YouTube channel. So I hope that was interesting to you. If you're still here watching, thank you so much. You are wonderful. I will have a video coming to you on the 21st, and that will be my pattern review for this video, so do stay tuned, subscribe if you haven't, leave me a comment, let me know if you've got any other questions, and maybe I will do another video like this in the future, and I can refer back to this video comment. Until next time, stay safe, happy sewing, bye for now.